Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with your TNA Impact review for 10/27/2011. Now, tonight's Impact was decent tonight. I thought it was okay of an Impact tonight for wrestling. There was some storyline building up, and it was kind of a web night as well because there was a little half hour from 10 to 10:30 that I wasn't watching much because of Beavis and Butthead, which I'll address another day. But overall, tonight's Impact was okay tonight. It's TNA. It's mixed with them. So there you go. We began with blah 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 blah. James Storm comes out, flacking the TNA title that he won last week. You know, biggest rating, 2 million ratings, 2 million viewers watched it. So James Storm came out talking about him winning the title and everything, about being a guy that said, oh, no one believed in him. Like, oh, you can't do it, Storm. You're too southern, too this, too that. Storm proved that perseverance and everything makes you the man, and he dedicated the win to his dad, who died, and his dad believed in him, and an emotional moment there, kind of. He said, I want some other men to come out, my boys, Fortune boys. So AJ, Kaz, and yes, Bobby Roode came flying down as well. Storm said, man, there's some change to be made. I'm the champ, and I get to name who gets the next shot. Roode, Bobby, you were the winner of the Bound for Glory series. You were the man destined for this title, but you got screwed by Angle. So you know what? I should give you the next shot. Because last week, he was going to give the title to Roode, but Roode declined. Because Roode didn't want to just be handed the title. He wants a shot at it. And then Storm said, oh, you'll get a shot, and AJ gets a shot, and Cass gets a shot. Small Joe came flying down as well. He said, man, you're like Hulk Hogan and Bischoff. You're going to keep in the family. You're going to have Storm Roode get a shot, then Cass and AJ. You're going to like monopolize TNA by only giving the Fortune guys a shot and not the other guys like me. I want a shot too. And Sting, the new authority figure, who was assigned by Dixie Carter that, he came down saying, hey, we're going to sell this one way and one way only. And that's in the ring, in the Impact Zone. So, tonight, Bobby Roode shall face Samoa Joe. The winner gets a shot against James Storm for the TNA title next week on Impact, which will be from Macon, Georgia. So, yeah, fails out. Of course, we all know Fortune had one missing. A group member is now a former group member. Christopher Daniels is probably like a traitor now because he's been feuding with AJ, and he needed to bounce back after losing to AJ in the I Quit match at Bound for Glory. Started making excuses as he headed towards his match against Rob Van Dam. For what I saw, good matchup. You know, I was flipping a lot of things, but there was an okay matchup tonight. He moves down because these two are pretty good wrestlers. So popcorn. Anyway. Already, Daniels are very athletic guys, high-flying guys, so expect an okay match. It was okay. But it ended with a disqualification as Daniels used a toolbox on RVD. He was about to use a screwdriver on RVD's head, but AJ, who was out at ringside, commentating the match, came flying down, about to attack Daniels, but Daniels fled from the scene like a pussy. Apparently, the AJ Daniels feud ain't over yet. I smell Last Man Standing or Iron Man match or Six Sense of Steel. I don't think the feud's over yet by a long shot from the looks of it to me. It's a thorn. They're each a thorn on their side. So this is turning a little bit personal for anyone's taste. Then our next match was Gail Kim's in-ring return. But before she made her in-ring return, Gail Kim came flying down with Madison and Karen Jarrett with an embattled and very angry Tracy Brooks, who's still kind of like being punished by Karen by all the shit she's done at Bound for Glory and the other weeks, and tripping and refereeing, yada yada yada. And Gail told the reason why she came back, why she quit the WWE after eliminating herself from a battle royal, infamously. She basically said, no more Mrs. Nice Diva. I'm not going to be the prissy little bitch who listen to everybody and did what everyone told me to do. It's all about me, 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 me. Do what I want. Do what I need to do to destroy the TNA Knockout division. And what I need to do to get my TNA title shot. Because she proved it kind of last week when she came back, attacking Velvet, knocking her out temporarily, apparently with a concussion. That's what she said. And of course, Karen said, Gail, you did a lot to prove to me you deserve a shot, so you get it at Turning Point. TNA changes the pay-per-views like WWE. You never know what pay-per-view's next. Because it was originally Genesis in November. December was Turning Point. Then January was Final Resolution. But a couple years ago, they made it Turning Point in November, Final Resolution in December, and Genesis in January. They changed around so much. Because they moved Victory Road from July to February, and Destination X from March to July. So they changed the pay-per-views as much as WWE does. So then we got Gail Kim's first in-ring match against Tara. Two former WWE divas in the ring against each other as TNA knockouts. Very interesting matchup. Okay matchup. You know, Gail Kim, ever since leaving, I don't think she had a little ring rust, but not that much. She ended with a little kick to the head of Taylor, like near the ear, like right on the side of the ear, kind of. 1, 2, 3. No interference. Gail gets the victory over Tara, sending a message to not only the Knockouts champion Velvet, but to the entire TNA Knockouts division that Gail's back and she's one bad bitch. No Mrs. Nice Diva, like I said. Alright. Next up, we had ourselves another match for the TV title as Eric Young defended his TV title against the fist pumping Jersey Hole wannabe, Shore wannabe, Bobby E. There's one person that I like with the Jersey gimmick. Everyone knows who that is. I've talked about him on my shows. All I gotta say is, woo, woo, woo. You know it. Bobby E, I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of Jersey Holes. I think Zack Ryder pulls off a better Jersey Guido than Bobby E. Bobby E's more like cheap to me. And it was a cheap squash as Bobby E lost to Eric Young for the TV title. Eric Young was a cuckoo. Ever since he left the Team Canada back in 06, he was kind of a cuckoo head. You know, with the whole don't fire Eric storyline. And of course, getting hit in the head and acting all goofy. Dude, he's been goofy. See his stupid storylines with him and Scott Bair and all this stupid shit? In a quick minute squash over Bobby E, and now he's aligning himself with Wani from the Jersey Shore. Is it just me, or is a lot of Jersey Shore people coming to TNA? You know what I mean? Jay Rob was on TNA, and Jolena was on TNA. And the weirdest thing was Snooki wasn't in TNA. Snooki was from WWE. TNA makes more sense for Jersey Shore people, because TNA is on Spike, which is owned by MTV Networks, the network who airs the Jersey Shore show. And probably the reason why Jersey Shore wants to be on TNA, because they want to get paid, especially since they're not on, since Beavis and Butthead's on. And at this point of the show, Beavis and Butthead went on the air. So I kept channel swap between Beavis and Butthead and TNA. Within a time frame, Eric Bischoff came flying down, talking about his son Garrett, and not being loyal to his father, and betraying him and Bound for Glory, and Hogan, and Sting, and aligning with them, and not Bischoff, yada yada yada, not aligning with his dad. You know what I mean? And Bischoff wanted him to apologize to him. That'll be later in the evening. Then on to Jeff Hardy making his in-ring TV return, because he's been wrestling at house shows, against Bully Ray. Jeff Jarrett came flying down, talking about stuff. Of course, Jarrett and Hardy have a little feud. I'm guessing Turning Point. So, like I said, B&B was still on at the time. And I flipped between that and this match, and I saw a little bit of match. And Jeff Hardy being out for all this time after the Victory Road smoke job, you know, being all high and shit. He actually had a pretty good showing, okay. You know, a little bit of ring rust, but I don't think he did fine. He did the Twist of Fate. He's not calling it Twist of Hate anymore because he's not a heel anymore. It's kind of weird. He was like the head of Immortal. Now he's facing off against Immortal. Kind of like Hogan is now. Anyway, Hardy got the Swanton bomb over. Bully Ray got the victory. It was being interviewed by Christie over the win, and Jeff Jarrett, as we all should have expected, came from the crowd and snuck attack on Jeff Hardy, where Bully Ray was ready for him in the ring with a steel chain. And Bully Ray, I didn't see him do this, but he probably yelled and said, "Jeff, get the tables!" So Jeff Jarrett got a table out, pulled it out, was about to put Jeff on it with the Bubba Bomb, and Mr. Anderson came flying down, ready to attack on Bully Ray and Mr. Jarrett. They both fled like pussies tonight. And I say this, Anderson Hardy against Bully Ray and Jarrett next week on Impact to set up both their feuds, because apparently Hardy and Jarrett's feud's building, and of course Anderson and Bully Ray's feud apparently may not be over for Bound for Glory. And I say this, like I said, Jarrett, Hardy at Turning Point. It'll eventually happen. But this tag team match will kind of build it up. Then our main event, Bobby Roode taking on Samoa Joe for #1 contendership for the TNA World title to face James Storm next week. Now, this match was okay in the main event tonight. It was okay. I think Woods had a pretty good build-up. I didn't think they're going to build Wood up so good to be a contender for the title. He deserved to win a Bound for Glory, in my mind, because he was built for 3 great weeks against Kaz, AJ, and Storm. He had a great victory over all 3 of them, fair and square, and they looked very good. So to get screwed over like that over Kurt Angle and all the bullshit that happens, like stupid. You know what I mean? And Wood had a good match against Joe. There was not a lot of Joe lovers, mostly Joe haters, unlike the last couple weeks. So got the perfect plex on him, then a submission, and Wood got the victory over Samoa Joe. Bet you he was smart not to do submissions, because Joe's a good submission guy, because he's got the word like a joke and all that stuff. So Wood wrestled Joe very good. I think Joe, in my mind, is the most agile big man in the wrestling business today. He's better than Big Show and Mark Henry, in my mind. That's just my opinion. So we had Wood winning, and of course Wood now gets the shot against Storm next week on Impact in Macon, Georgia. Maybe another title change on TV. That's what brought WCW to the ground. They had all the title changes on TV. Remember Goldberg and Hogan? Georgia Dome? Should have been a big pay-per-view, but they blew it by having it on Nitro. Well, that's a story for another day. Anyway, on to the last segment, Eric Bischoff and Garrett Bischoff. Eric wanted Garrett to apologize and side with him. He didn't like Garrett being his own man. He wanted Garrett to be on his side. Me, I have a dad who's in the automotive business. Everyone might have been like, no one was like at my throat saying, "Zach, you should be in the automotive business." I was a music guy. I didn't want to be in the automotive business. Like, no one pushed me to be in the automotive business. I was allowed to make my own decisions. I was allowed to say, hey, I want to be a music guy. I want to be a disc jockey. Unlike Joe Jackson, forcing his family to be singers. But they were brilliant singers, despite the rumors about Joe Jackson throughout the years. But that's what Bischoff wanted Garrett to do. He wanted Garrett to be on his side, and that's it. He said, Garrett, you have no other options. It's either me or nothing. And Garrett wouldn't say that, so he then shook his head. No, I'm not going to serve you, Dad. I want to be my own man. And Bischoff not liking it. Here comes Ric Flair, giving him a cheap shot and a cheaper shot by Eric, giving him a low blow when he was already down. So basically, Impact ends with Bischoff and Ric Flair beating up Eric's own flesh and blood in the ring. That's how he ended Impact, with a double team attack. No one helped him at all. Not even Hogan or Sting. So I got an okay Impact tonight, and I'll be missing next week's Impact. I'm going to miss it. There's a reason I cannot disclose it this time, because it's kind of a secret. I'll probably review it in the next couple of days. But that is it. That's my TNA review for tonight. I'll see y'all later. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you much. See you later. Bye.